Well, hello, folks. Here we are, such as we are. Yep. It's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, about 37 degrees Celsius outside, so we're inside the bird room. Right, Cause? Right, Cause. Cosmic bird. Bob, what are you doing? Babaloo? Babaloo? Oh. Romeo. Hello. Ah, I don't think I'd ever get in here. Ah. Hello, Amy Lulu. Lorelai's over there devastating her food right now. Ah, Peaches. Peach. Yeah, it's hard to believe that these cages were cleaned last night at about 8 p.m. And you look at them and it looks like, yeah. And the worst one is Salamander. He tends to throw the food he doesn't want out, so he's vying in contention with Bob. These, again, are cages. Hello, Michelle. These cages were cleaned last night at 8 p.m. And it looks as if I don't do anything. Well, some of them look okay. Well, Snowball decided to take a bath, so. Now, that's what it looks like. You've got a normal bird that isn't psychotic, right? Something like that. We don't have to throw our food all over the place, Cause. And Lucy's cage looks fairly clean. Excuse the coughing. I'm still going to be doing some of that. So we were, excuse me, we were out in the aviary early because it's 100 degrees out there Fahrenheit right now. Michelle says, hello, birdies. Peach, are you a bird? Okay, you're a bird. You've been doing a lot of singing today, haven't you, Peach? Have you been? Yeah, hello. Hello. Yeah. I don't have to clean as much. I'm not talking 24 cages like it used to be, but still. Yeah, the Peach is having a really good day today, aren't you, Peach? Peaches, you having a good day? Got a song for me, Peach? A song? No song? Mander? He's just like full from having breakfast. And speaking of someone with breakfast on their face, there's Romeo. Uh-huh, I know. That's all you say to me. I love you, Romeo. Eh, eh. Pippa. Pip, pip. Pip, pip. Roman's not too happy with his smaller cage, but he does like Deb, so he's all enticed by her, so he's okay. He just doesn't prefer to be next to other birds that close. Lucy, hey Goose, Goose, stuffed from eating breakfast. Yeah, that's typical. Sugar bird, sugar the bird. There's the goose. Loose goose and the pip pip. Pippa, Pippa, Pippa. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And Sugar will spend quite a bit of time just looking out at the aviary. At this point, the treatment doesn't seem to be working, so we're just hoping she'll overcome it on her own. She'll get a checkup here again soon, though. But doesn't seem like it doesn't work on every bird, and it's working on maybe 30% of them. That's right, Bruce. The Lorelei. The Lorelei. Pause. Peach, do you have anything else to say besides eh? Eh? Well, come here, Peach. Is that what you're saying? Come here, Peach. Come here, Peach. I didn't even get to do a circuit before you started yelling because you want your audience. There's Cecil. There's Cecil Bird. Nice, Cecil. Hey, boy. He was batting me on the head with a wiffle ball today. Yeah. And we're not sure about the surgery either. Not sure if she's strong enough to handle surgery. I mean, they can do surgery to try to remove what's causing the bleeding, but she might not pull through it. And it might go away on its own, as her immune system gets stronger. At this point, I'm fairly sure that a good doctor would prefer not to do the surgery, which probably means he doesn't have a lot of hope for it, but they sometimes just overcome this stuff on their own. Right, Snowball? Anytime you put a bird under general anesthetic, not just the gas, but you put them under general anesthetic, it's dangerous. Hello, Eleanor. The peach. Are you a peach? You are a peach? What you doing in there? You want me to take you out, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. If I thought the surgery would help, I would definitely give her the surgery. The question is, we're not sure. And there's a good chance she won't make it through the surgery. Because you're talking being in surgery for an hour or two and under general. What did you say, Bob? Sounded like a large animal growling. Yeah, see, it did sound like a loud animal growling. See, it says Roman's eating an almond. That's right, Pete. What are you yelling about? You yelling about Babaloo? Well, you are Babaloo. Well, you are Babaloo. How can you yell about Babaloo if you're Babaloo? Pete says, Babaloo, Babaloo. Bob, your public is watching. Bob? Hello. Hello. Oh, another peachy song and a hello. It feels... Hi, Peaches. It feels odd sitting in the room with the birds not out. I could let them out, but with the camera, it's not a good idea in here. It's okay. It's okay in the aviary, but we're not going to give up on the food. Babaloo. Hey, what are you doing over there yelling? Bob. a rant by Bob right now. What are you doing? What are you yelling about? Huh, Bob? Huh? Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good boy. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good boy. Get him, Bob. Get him. Get him. Get him, Bob. But you might have to pass on any questions to me because I'm just using the one phone. Hi, Falcon Sue. You're not the only one who's late. I was late. I had things get in my way. It happens. Especially since I'm not quite set in the routine here yet. Bob. Bob. Babaloo, babaloo, babaloo. You been yelling for a while? How about you? What are you yelling about? Peaches, you had people worshiping you earlier. Yeah, they're good birds. Hi, Peach. Hi, Doris. Hello, Alfred. Peachy girl. She's having a good day. Aren't you? Yeah, I know you want to be out. So does everybody else. This is kind of a small room to let you all out in. The aviary is a different thing. Yeah, we were out there till it hit about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I had to bring them all in. You tell them. Please, song, PJ. Babaloo. I can't keep reinforcing that behavior. Hey, Snowball. Snowball. Peaches. You tell him, Peach. Easy. I'm not sure we're going to do the surgery on her because I'm not sure if she can handle it. Dr. Jenkins isn't sure either. It's a lengthy surgery, and I might not pull through it. So. Babaloo, you can be replaced by a squeaky toy. You know what I mean? A squeaky toy can do that too. All I'd have to do is play with the squeaky toy's foot. See? If I play with the squeaky toy's foot. Yeah, we were hoping that the injections would reduce the size of the area in her stomach area, but it hasn't really done that. So we're not sure about the surgery. Bob. All right. You've proven you can scream. Mm-hmm. Have a toothpick. Yeah, and I'd say that's also true of Bob. He's not happy I'm paying attention to the other bird. He's basically stopped his screaming since he came in here, except for when I'm in the room with a camera. Peaches. Peach. Peaches. Oh, Peaches. Now, who would have guessed just handing him a piece of wood would get him quiet? He can do that sound all he wants. It doesn't bother me. It's just that, when you're doing a video, you really don't want him screaming the whole time. But it does give you an idea what happens to people. They bring these birds home. They think, oh, what a pretty bird. And before long, it's screaming like Bob was. Yeah, we're still considering the surgery, but he's got to have another checkup and see where we are. If the injections had helped, it would have been nice, but yeah, it's never enough when it comes to people. She loves people, so she wants all she can get. Not so much with birds. She loves people. Bob, is Bob a good bird? Bob, Bob, are you a good boy? Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. Yeah, good boy. That's right. Bob's a good boy. Bob's a good bird. He is. He's really sensitive too. Hi, Babaloo. The reason he's screaming is because he is sensitive. He just wants attention. He'll do anything for it, won't you, Bob? Well, almost anything. Almost. Right, Bob? Hi, Cheryl. You have anything to say to everyone, Bob? You have anything else to say, Babaloo? What? What are you looking at me like that for? Hmm? You look a little sleepy. This one here thinks he's in a Turkish bath. He keeps getting in his water like 2 or 3 times a day, and I have to keep replacing his water. He keeps taking baths. And I spray them down. I've got these little sprayers, and they work good to spray them down, but it's not enough for him. What'd you say, Bob? Babaloo? I think you said Babaloo. Yeah, they're adjusting to the new environment. Some better than others, right, Bob? Yeah. Babaloo. Okay, stop giving you attention. Peaches. Peaches. Now this is the extreme issue with Bob doesn't exist in the area, but it's been 100 degrees outside. Nah, we ain't doing that. Hello, Susie. Peaches. Yeah, there's our stoic Mr. Romeo. That made me laugh. I'm gonna choke on it. Hey, Romeo, you got anything to say? Romeo have anything to say? No. Not fond of cameras, but he's doing okay. How about you? How about you, Mander? Salamander. It's hard, looking at him, you would think he had a twisted pelvis, but it's a 90-degree twist. There's no question about that on the right-hand side. What are you doing in there? You're looking at me. Okay. And the pip pip. Pip pip. I know I don't usually talk to you through the bars, do I? Except when I'm cleaning cages. No. Is that right? That's right? That's right. Okay. That's right? That's right? Yeah, it feels odd talking to the birds through bars. I generally don't talk to them through bars much. Most of the time we're playing or doing something together, aren't we, Lucy? She got food all over her face. You've been eating or something, haven't you? Still got her breakfast on her face. But what are you doing down there? Hmm? You gonna come over? Yep. Well, will. Hey, baby. Hello. Let me pet the beak a little bit. Pippa? The Pip? Yeah, because she usually comes out with the boys. She doesn't get along too well with the girl crowd. Oh, sugar. Now, there's one. If I took her out, she wouldn't let me. She'll let me hold her for maybe a minute. She's not much into that. She wants her beak rubbed. Right, Lorelai? Right, Lorelai? Yeah. Yeah. Marley, he was, supposedly he wouldn't let any man touch him. Within 2 weeks, he was running around the aviary like me in there. And then sitting in my lap. Hey, Cause. Hey, Cause. Hey, baby. Hey, Cause. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Cause. No ball. Yeah, you started saying that's right. Yeah. What are you doing? This is the one that's been whacking me on the head today. Not unusual for Cecil, though. And this keeps Houdini in. It's a child's bicycle lock. You. Do you have to scream like that? Hmm? You have to? You do? Why? Because you want attention? Is that it? Is that it, Bob? You want attention? Must. Babaloo must be because you come up and give him attention. He stops doing it. Yeah, he was a good bird, but he didn't like being around a whole bunch of cockatoos. So is this what I have to do? Just stand by the Babaloo so that we don't hear any more screaming? You gonna threaten me? Go ahead. Go ahead. I know you. You're all bluff. You're all bluff. Because you're really just a sweetie. That's why. Aren't you, Bob? Aren't you, Bob? I hear Peaches, but you can scream some more while I go over to see Peaches. Peach, what are you doing in there? Yeah, I expected that, Bob. Hey, Peach. Peaches. And now you too, huh, Peach? You going too? Well, come on, Peach. You can come out for a minute. Come on, Peach. We have to be careful because she's not. She's better at controlling her bowels now than she was. She has improved in that department. But if she gets anything, she needs to get it on me, don't you, baby? Hey, Peach. You can't see them. No, you can't see them this way. How you doing, Peach? How you doing, Peach? Yeah, and it's her personality that's the most beautiful. She's just got the best personality, this one. Don't you, Peach? Mm-hmm. So what you been doing, Peach? What you been doing? Oh, she wants me, but she also wants her friends. She likes to meet new people. What you doing? Oh, Peach. You're okay now that you're out of your cage? Hmm? You can leave food for them all day long, sure. The only issue with that is if they have food all day long, it tends to increase mating behavior. It's if an animal has a good source of food, then they tend to want to have babies. I knew what you meant. Yeah, it's better if you don't. I mean, if you've got enough people around, you're not worried about them starving to death if something happens to you. If you put out food for them for like 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours at night. So what are you doing? Now, there's people who will tell you, screamers, that just ignore it. And as you can see, that does not work. In fact, he will get louder over time. You have to catch them when they're doing something that's making a sound you like and then reinforce that. Not easy to do in this situation. barking back here, but she has. I haven't changed their routine since I came here, so they have food available at all times. They have their wet food in the morning and their dry food the rest of the day. But I'm still getting used to the idea of people around who might be able to help. But at this point, they're not indoctrinated in how to care for them, so. The food's out all day. And it may increase, territoriality and mate territoriality, that kind of thing. Hi, Bob. Hello, Babaloo. Good boy. Bob is quiet. Good bird. Good bird. Bob, a good boy? Bob's a good boy. Bob's a good bird. Oh, you show us one of your toys? Yeah. What did you do with it? Oh, you still have your hanging toy. Yeah. That toy was pretty impressive yesterday, but you can't tell it now. Romeo's the only one who hasn't really torn up his toy in a day. Try to get out, Bob. What's going on, Babaloo? Hi, Bob. Well, that's the point. When he stops making the screaming sound, then you have to reward him by talking to him. So he learns, with Bob, it's kind of a slow process, but he learns that when he's quiet, he gets attention. When he's noisy, he doesn't. So I think in his case, he learns if he's noisy and then quiet, he gets it. No, I think he's got it a little too well figured out. Mm-hmm. Bob, I know you could get out if you really wanted to. I know that. Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good bird. So rewarding the point where he's doing something other than the behavior you don't want. Yeah. Well, we've had some jailbreakers. This is a good example. This cage, Cecil was in this cage at one time as his night cage, and you can see how I had to reinforce that entire thing with P-tape and bolts. But now Sal's in it, and he's not an escape artist. He'll try to con you into taking him out, won't he, Bob? Now let's see how long he'll go if I turn the attention somewhere else. Probably not long. What's up, Peach? What's up, Peach? What's up, Peach? Bob's a good bird. Oh, he's still quiet. What a good boy. What a good boy. If you hadn't just eaten, I'd give you a treat. Ah. That's the thing. They get their food later on the days that they go out early in the morning. And this week, it's all going to be 7 to 10, pretty much outside, or 6 to 10. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Bob. Yeah, if you're alone, okay, turn away. If you're alone, you need to make sure they have food for a couple of days. So salamander would have more food if you wouldn't throw it all at the bottom of the cage. He eats all of the cooked food that I make him, and then he I don't know what he likes. I think he likes little round pink things. Not sure, but he throws everything else out. Oh, the birds here are cockatoos. All cockatoos. Hi, Babaloo. Oh, you got quiet. Imagine that. What are you doing? Bob's a good bird. Bob's a good boy. You're a good bird, Bob. And you can see how that is working. He is quieting down when I talk to him, and then when I turn away whenever he starts screaming. Now he's going to play with his toy, which you can see he's already thrashed it since yesterday. Which reminds me, I have to order more wood. I used to cut my own wood, but I can't do that here. It's I don't really have the facilities for it, so. Ah. So I have a wholesaler that will sell me cut and dyed and drilled wood, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah, Sugar likes she likes French fries, but you tell them not to put any salt on it, but they still have salt in it, so you can't give her much. But once in a while, if she gets her French fries, just like Lucy over there likes her pop 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 popcorn. You like the pop 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 popcorn, don't you, Lucy? It'll look right at me. Did I say popcorn? I guess I have to make you some later, don't I? And I just make, oil is not bad for them, so I make it with peanut oil, but she likes her popcorn. What are you looking at, Mander? Bob, you're being a good boy. Hi, Mander. Sal. Salamander. Peaches, you're awful quiet. You okay? Yes, cayenne pepper's great. I have the 160,000 heat unit cayenne, and they love it. They make a little of that in their popcorn, or they don't get popcorn that often. Lucy gets it once a month, but she knows what it is. Right, Lucy? Cause yeah, I had an incident with Jasmine. She's not in here. She's in the dining room area. Her cage is 40 inches and it wouldn't fit in here, so she's out there. But I had something with cheese on it, just in a hurry. So I got some tacos, and the next thing I know, she's jumping over, knocking all the tacos around to try to get to the cheese, and she was determined too. Right, Bob? Right, Bob? Good boy. Good boy. Yep, that's right. Eleanor's got it right. You don't want to do it too often, but There's times when you have to let them have what they want. I mean, I'm not going to let them lick a salt block, but I'm saying they can have a little something else. But Jasmine's idea of a little something else was just taking over the whole kitchen table. She obviously has been given far too much cheese. She got 2 little pieces of it before I was able to scramble her away from the table and pick everything up off the floor. Bob who? Babaloo? What, Peach? Peach, you got to sit a little more over on me just in case you have an accident, okay? I don't want that on the floor. Peaches? Here, sit. Sit. There you go. Sit right there. And this one's our Skywalker. He walks on the ceiling of the aviary, but does it in here too. He goes around and around in a loop. When he was in his larger cage, he did it a lot more, but he's got to get used to his new environment. We still have all the big cages, they're just in storage. Broken down and in storage. No ball. This is the one that plays frisbee. He's a great frisbee player. Aren't you? He says, I'm not playing frisbee now. He just ate, so he's it's a weird schedule for him when it's hot, when it gets hot outside, because it'll go in Fahrenheit from 70 degrees to 100 degrees in an hour. I mean, that's how fast it moves. So once it hits 85, 80, 84, 85, I'm dragging him inside. Right, Peach? I still have to preen her. She can't preen herself, so it's never a good idea. I shouldn't say never. It's generally not a good idea to preen any bird below the neck or pet below the neck. I just had somebody commenting, well, I see you doing it. Yeah, but you haven't watched all my videos, so I can't in every single video say the same thing over and over. It gets boring, right? But with Peaches, she can't reach around to preen herself, and she gets impacted feathers, so I have to preen her. I have to break the little feathers, the keratin off the feather shaft, and then I got to pull the feathers that aren't growing properly. And she gets to yell at me when I do it wrong, don't you, Peach? He's thinking about it right now. He's gonna hurt me. But she won't let anybody else do it. And you've heard the old saying, don't do what I do, do what I say. Well, in this particular case, if you have training in ABA, you'll probably be just where I am. You have certain birds that you have to break the rules with because in their case, those rules don't apply. And, but anyone else trying to get around the rules may find things not quite so good for them. So, right, Lucy? Lucy. Hey, Lucy Goose. Goosey, Lucy. Yes. Okay. Pippa? What's up, Pip? That's right, that's right. Okay, that's right. It depends. Again, when you practice ABA, there's times when you can do things and times when you can't. Roman has a little box at the bottom of his cage, not the kind of box you're talking about. A nesting box is okay if they don't get too territorial, okay? If they start to defend that box, you need to get it out of there. Or if they start laying eggs, you need to get it out of there. But just a hanging toy, I mean, some of these birds will just lean up against a hanging toy and use it as a mate. So, again, hanging toys are normally fine, but sometimes you have to actually take them out of the cage and put in foot toys. Yeah, grocery bags are fine. The only ones I'd be concerned about are the ones where they have the little handles put on them. They've those glued on handles. Sometimes a bird will get themselves caught in something like that, so I would cut that if they're on there. But otherwise, those are fine. Right, Peach? Again, it depends on the bird, the season, whether or not they're exhibiting mating behavior. And we don't call that being hormonal because, as far as I know, I have no way to actually do a blood test right now and see if they have hormones that are raging in their bodies. But I can see mating behavior. A male fans his tail. A female starts shaking or coming up and nuzzling you with their beak. I mean, these are things that are all obvious behaviors. You don't have to know whether or not they have hormones raising. And sometimes they may not really have those hormones going. Exactly. That's right. That's right, Pep. So one thing you learn when you study behaviorism is that you work with the operant. An operant is simply the one that's supposed to be making the choices. So you help the birds to make better choices. Such as right now, Bob has made a good choice. He's back there preening. So the techniques I used applied worked. Doesn't mean he won't start making the screaming sound again, but what I did was effective. And now he's just being himself. Well, if they become aggressive, which is, becoming territorial about something that you have in their cage, you can work with it. I mean, you don't have to take it out. But if you haven't studied ABA, if you don't know basic training techniques, then it could get difficult. Yeah, we're all worried for the peach, aren't we, Peach? Even the peach is worried about the peach. Aren't you, Peach? That's a tough decision. I mean, basically, what the doc would do with her, he would have to go in with a nurse anesthesiologist. So you're talking about 15 minutes of setup, getting her down into anesthesia with also the gas at the same time. So we're talking about a general and gas. And then he has to go in and remove all the polyps that are down there and seal them, right? And seal the spots where they're bleeding. So, this is going to take some time, and whether or not she would pull through it is unknown. She doesn't like being on her back. And attitude has a lot to do with how well you do in surgery, too. So, her attitude about being on her back is the worst of any bird I've ever seen. She does not like to be on her back at all, ever. And if you try to flip her over, she screams in pain. So, but the latest is the injections didn't really help. They didn't change anything. And we were hoping that it would reduce the size of things so he could go in and work in there. If it's all swollen up, it's not going to be an easy job. And the amount of time in surgery could mean the end of her life. So The decision is, to keep taking her down for physicals and then keep discussing with the doctor what he thinks. And right now, he's kind of, you can tell he's not ready to do the surgery. And when he's nervous about doing a surgery, I'm nervous because he's the best. This guy, there was a umbrella cockatoo that had a growth on its kidney, okay? And the growth was pressing against the artery leading to the left leg. So the bird was losing its motion in the left leg. This all showed up in x-rays. Dr. Jenkins went in and removed the growth, okay? And every other vet I've talked to who is an avian vet, and some that are another one who is a exotics vet, he worked at the Wild Animal Park, at the Crest Center, Center for Reproductive Research, and he said he'd never even try it. That surgery is so delicate that he didn't see any way the bird could have survived. Well, the bird survived, so got it motioned back in its leg, and unfortunately, it died a few years later of something else. But it got a lease on life because of his surgical skill. And if he's acting like he doesn't want to do a surgery, well, then it's really touchy. He doesn't like to go into the surgery room and have to come out and say that it didn't go through. Hi, Bob. I know, Peach. Bob's a good bird. He's probably going to start screaming again. Bob is a good bird. That's the most misunderstood bird in the world, I swear. Everybody who gets close to him, he freaks them out, and then they feel like he's going to rip their throats out. Worst I've ever seen him do, and I mean this is the absolute worst, is he nipped somebody on the toe once. That's it. I've never seen him do anything else. I used to take him with me to a Renaissance fair. And the kids handled him. He's a big ham. He's a sweetheart. But he's a Triton. He's got a lot of energy. And sometimes it's not always so well directed. I had a manager one time, years ago when I was young, who said that I had a whole bunch of energy, but it wasn't well directed. And I remember looking at one of my colleagues and going, he just called me a spastic. And the guy looks at me, it's in one ear, the other ear with Howard. Don't pay any attention to him. But he was right. I had a lot of energy and I wasn't directing it well. He was right about that. And that's Bob. I have a lot of energy now and I direct it a lot better than I used to. Not going to go on forever though, right, Bob? Right, Bob? Does Bob know I love the Bob? Does Bob know I love the Bob? You know that? Now, see, with most people, he would make a striking motion towards their hand. That's what he would do. He wouldn't bite them in most cases. I will say most cases because you never know. But he plays. But if I touch him, he doesn't do that. Oh, you would? Would you, Bob? No, Babaloo. Of course, Babaloo. Wouldn't trade you for the world, Bob. You're a good boy. And Bob, he's been sitting on the edge of a prolapse for 10 years. But I talked to Dr. Jenkins, and he said exercise, and this is all guesswork, of course, exercise and wet food. So Bob gets a lot of wet food. And he hasn't prolapsed. It doesn't look good sometimes. He's had to have multiple sutures to kind of hold things in. But we were figuring he'd be gone 5 years ago. And he's right here, aren't you, Bob? What do you have to say? Well, speak out. Babaloo. Yes, Babaloo. Bob. He's looking at the bars like, aren't you going to take me out of here? Bob, it's 100 degrees outside. You can fry an egg on the patio, okay? You don't want to fry an egg? No, neither do I. Not particularly, but... And you're just, what are you, digesting or something there, Snowball? Now, there's one of those birds that, people talk, I've had a lot of people say, well, I want a female umbrella because they're cuddly. This one right here will cuddle you all day long if you want. He doesn't like to do it when other birds are around, but if you sit somewhere with him, he'll just cuddle right up under your neck and stay there. You don't want to do that too long with a bird, so I never do it more than 5 minutes. But he would sit there for hours on end. That's the way he is. And then he's playful. He's an athlete, so he likes to play frisbee. I know, Bob. I know. He likes to play frisbee, and he really knows the rules, and he plays it well. Although, don't ever, if it ever looks like he accidentally bit you, he will stop. He will not play anymore. And that one over there with her feathers sticking out. What are you doing, Cause? She's just the sweetest thing. She doesn't usually look you right directly in the eye. She will now with me, but normally she looks away. She was trapped in a corridor between the garage and the kitchen with another bird for 12 years. So. But she's a sweet girl. She knows how to really fan those feathers without putting any. She can do that without pulling on you at all. It's amazing. It's like watching a hummingbird in mid-flight. She can just sit there, just hum, and she's really good at it. But if you let her, which I always do, if you let her just beat her wings for a while, she will eventually start screaming. Not screaming, but she's got a really loud, what most people would call an irritating squawk, but that's okay. She's a sweet girl. And I never tell them directly to stop squawking because that's just reinforcing the behavior. You need to go to the bathroom. I'm going to put you up because I can tell. She's walking back and forth on her feet. She has to go, she'll do that. Start walking back and forth. There you go. And this is her cage. This is the one she likes. It's got her. Yes, she has electronic toys. And I got to clean them again. I see. Cleaned them yesterday. She has electronic toys. She has her. She likes playing with these. She likes the finger traps. She likes the little grass bowls. Those are her favorites. The egg is a fake, by the way. It's not a real egg. It's a fake egg. And this guy, because of his twisted pelvis, he doesn't walk around a lot. He doesn't move around. He will move, but he does it rather quickly, and then he goes and sits somewhere. He's probably in pain most of the time, but he's such a big sweetheart. Aren't you? Almost every day I put my finger in that beak, and he pulls himself up to me. What are you whining about? You cannot come out right now. It is hot out there. We're not going into the aviary, and we're not going to come out in this room. Aviary later tonight. Let me look at bear with me, the camera's going to go wild while I look to see when we could go out. Not tonight. We'd have to go out at 8 o'clock. Well, we could go out at 8. We might. In order to go out tonight, we'd have to be 8 o'clock. Right, Sugar? Right, Sugar? This I don't know about, oh, she's asleep. More or less sleeping. You haven't moved. What are you doing down there? Lucy. Hey, Luce. Popcorn. Nope. Pippa. Okay, guys, I'm going to get back to work. I got lots to do, but thanks for showing up today and supporting the Chloe Sanctuary. We appreciate it. Don't we, Snowball? You going to say bye to the people, Peach? Say bye to the people, Peach. She says, I'm eating. Don't bug me. Yeah, rah. I know, rah. That's what you say to me. Well, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye, Michelle. Bye, Alfred. Bye, Susie Q. Cheryl. Amy and Eleanor. Thank you. Falcon Sue. Bye.